Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live broadcast. Uh, we're not going to be very long, but there's so much going on, especially regarding Syria. And a lot of you would have seen that news. So I'm going to bring Doobie on with me. Doobs, are you there? Hello, Christine, and hi. You said hi from Switzerland. Ah, there he is.
Hey,
Doobs.
yes, hi.
Hey. Hi, there he is. So, hello, new luminous. Hi from Las Vegas, Nevada. Good to know that we've got people tuning in from all over. And so, this is not expected. We weren't expecting to go live. Doobie and I were texting this morning and thought, you know what? We need to tell everybody about what's going on. So, Doobs, huge news coming out of Syria. You and I were texting about it. Can you just go ahead and tell everybody what's going on?
You know how many times Kim was prophesying about Russia and Syria and Iran and in connection with the US and Israel? And that's why we decided to do this breaking news right now and go live so people can really get what's happening here in real time. I'm here, boots on the ground in Israel, in the home studio. And I mean, I can't run fast enough to the TV to get the news and come back. Everything is stirred over in Syria. The situation is as follows. Literally, the Assad regime, after over 46 years, was down, taken down. Bashar Assad, the son of Hafez al-Assad, this butcher from Damascus is out. They don't even know where he is right now. They think that he ran away to Russia, and it's not clear, but the rebels that are actually combined from multiple different organizations were coming from multiple directions, and eventually they were able to enter into Damascus to get into the TV station of the president and to broadcast to the world that they have control over Syria. And this happened within 11 days only. That's what's happening right now. It has
Yeah.
huge effects over Israel, over the entire Middle East, I would say. I
Yes.
think that we were just speaking, at least on one of my last updates, I was speaking about the fact that the situation in Syria is very fragile because the Iranians and Hezbollah
Yes.
were the ones to control all the resources over there and to hold on the troops of the enemies from coming against Assad. They were the protectors of Assad together with Russia. But the war of Hezbollah against Israel weakened the Hezbollah so much that they needed to bring all their soldiers, all their operatives from Syria back into Lebanon to try and fight against Israel. The same was happening with the so-called generals, advisors, supervisors of, of Iran in Syria that needed to put their attention towards the war between Israel and Hezbollah.
Yes.
And that's what gave the wind and the power to the rebels to see that they have neglected at least two or three sides of their defense lines and to infiltrate through there. And just like a domino effect, within
Mm.
11 days, the entire country came into the hands of the rebels. Now it has a great potential for good
Yes.
stuff to happen, but on the
Yes.
other hand, it has huge risks because first
Yes.
and foremost, these people are not the admirers of Zion, nor the most loving
No.
democracy people in the world. These people are contained of multiple radical
Yes.
Islamists. Some of them are ISIS, others are ex Al Qaeda, and there are some freedom fighters as well. So the thing is that it's really important to see how things will unfold. And I think the key to the situation right now, it's in the hands of the US and the new administration that is going to come about. Because we have seen that Syria, that was backed up by Iran and by Russia, cannot get any help from Iran anymore. Literally,
Yes.
the Iranian embassy fell in the hands of the rebels which they looted it and destroyed it. Iran was saying, in an act of weakness right now, that they should leave Syria to the Syrians, and whatever the people of Syria would like to do, this is what should happen. Hezbollah has been calling his operatives with their tail between the legs to run back into Lebanon real quick because they'll be captured and executed.
Yes.
And Russia is so preoccupied and busy with
Ukraine.
Ukraine that they cannot help the Syrians anymore. Into this gap, into this vacuum, the US must enter. They must give hope to the Syrian people, even though they're dealing with ex-Al-Qaeda or ex-ISIS or all kinds of rebel organizations and oppositions that are displaced to other countries, and you can say shadow governments or whatever. America should try with the CIA to reach into the real powers of influence and try to bring Syria back into the hands of the West. Otherwise, the situation is going to be so bad that Turkey, that we know where their heart is right now, with Iran and with Russia, even though they are members of NATO. Just today, I heard that Donald Trump said that he will pull out of NATO if the other nations are not going to pay their debts to NATO.
Yes.
And if this is going to happen, the axis of evil led by Turkey, Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, they're going to bring their powers and forces into Syria, and they are already in Lebanon, and this is almost strangling Israel between the rock and the hard place.
Yes.
So Israel, I'm telling you, I'm sorry I'm speaking so much, but
no,
Israel right now is taking all the measurements to first and foremost secure our borders from the northern front and northeast by sending Israeli troops already to the highest point of Mount Hermon that overlooks the entire Middle East and taken the Syrian outpost, conquered it by special forces, special op forces like Shaldag and other special units. They control right now the entire Mount Hermon. Also,
which is big.
Sent Israel, huge. Also sent Israeli troops miles and miles deeper into the Syrian Golan to get into the hilly outlines that overlooks Damascus to literally extend the buffer zone between Syria and the rebels towards the Israeli Golan. There are multiple movements of the Israeli army, including artillery, including armored corps and tanks, including infantries, the Air Force, intelligence. All eyes are on Syria right now, and this has been taking place in the last 24 to 36 hours. We have two armies right now, two divisions of the Israeli army within Syrian soil as we speak right now. Because you should understand that if those rebels would like to draw themselves as the liberators of the holy sites and the liberators of the Middle East, once Syria fell into their hands like a ripe fruit, they can turn their effort towards Israel to show the Muslim world that what Iran and Hezbollah and Hamas and all these proxies were trying to do and failed, they will be succeeding to do that. They really believe that they have favor from Allah right now that has given them Syria in their hands so fast. And that's the biggest fear here in Israel, that they might try to challenge us.
Yes. Now, Dubes, I know that a lot of people are kind of asking, is this a good or a bad thing? And you explained it really well. But I think something that some people want to know is, who the heck are these rebels? Who are they? Where do they come from? Who's in leadership? From what I've seen, it seems like their leaders on the FBI's wanted list. But I could be incorrect. But I just, from your perspective, obviously you're in the ground. I mean, I've been to these borders with you. you and I together have been, and we've overlooked the Mount Hermon sites, and
Yes.
we've looked at, we went to the borders of Syria together. We looked at the abandoned Syrian outposts. I took some pictures there with you. I've seen where the tanks, where God did a miracle, in the Golan. And but the thing is, obviously, what we have to trust God for, and this is where you said about the United States needing to step in. The truth is, this could be a vacuum left by a similar or worse regime, or it could turn around and we could see real reform. But for people that don't know, what are the enemies? Who are they? Who are these
So,
rebels?
so first and foremost, and that's one of the things that we can take a little bit courage in, is that they are not really very united. They're united for one goal. They were united for one goal, to take Assad and his regime down. But now they're going to start probably clashing amongst themselves, because some of them are Kurds from Kurdistan, which are good powers and friendly with the US and with Israel, very much so, but they are the biggest, fiercest enemies of Turkey. And Turkey might try now, in the midst of the chaos, to go against them, and there would be a fight over there. And if Turkey will take over, this is their biggest dream, is literally to take over parts of Syria and even annex it to Turkey and make Turkey, great again, and try to rebuild once again the Turkish Ottoman Empire. That's the biggest dream of Erdogan. So some of them are the Kurds, others are militias, Sunni militias from Iraq, that well established into the former powers and forces of ISIS, and they are very radical Islamists. Others are all kinds of different rebels that were running away from the persecutions of the Americans against Al Qaeda, and there are remnants of Al Qaeda. And there are
Yeah.
multiple different smaller organizations that are they called how do you call it, Nakbat el Hawa, and all kinds of different names of local Syrians, mainly young people who were seeking for democracy, and they were the ones to ignite the whole the whole revolution
Yeah.
11 years ago. But many of them faded out, as they never had a lot of support from the West or other superpowers. But the thing is that now there is a concept that we say, the enemy of your enemy can be your friend. And
Yes.
this is what we can try and do. And I think that I heard that the US and the UN have been nominated a general, a former general, and a messenger to get to the area as fast as possible, to try and bring together to the table the representations and representatives of all the different organizations, and to see if they can gain some time and put some kind of a contemporary or temporary government until they're going to sit down and write down a new constitution for Syria, and head towards democratic elections within the next year or year and a half. So these are the big dreams that the West has towards Syria. Syria is a huge, it's a big country with a lot of resources and a lot of potential. And if the US and Europe are going to be able to influence those powers and these parts of those regimes in such a manner that they can influence them to sit together and to build something that will be more prominent, this is what we speak about the Damascus Road conversion.
Yes.
I mean, this would be like the Bible is waking up, kicking,
Yes.
and bringing us to the end goal.
Dubes, everything you're saying is so accurate. And, I just saw now, I'm just reading some of these comments. J Dog, thank you. Hello, nice to see you. People are speaking about different sieges of Damascus. They're talking about how we can't trust the different elements of government. And yes, that is true. We've seen so many failures, especially when we look at what happened with Afghanistan, under Biden. That was one of the worst things that have ever happened under American
That's the
rule.
biggest hiccup and the
Failure.
biggest fear that it's happened now, just months before
Or Trump
the
comes in.
change. Yes, because now it's in between, governments, and I
Yes.
know that Biden should deliver a speech, and there are some kind of meetings taking place right now in the US in the government there. I hope that they will include the advisors of Donald Trump and some of
Yes.
his people into the discussions, because they'll have a huge influence about the future of America and the future of the
Yes.
Middle East.
Yes.
So I just hope that they'll be able to conduct things with a lot of caution. But the thing is also, we have seen something that Zelensky said, the president of Ukraine today,
Ukraine.
and this is a message that I think should infiltrate into the rest of the world, who are even dreaming or wavering or thinking about putting their trust in Putin, because he said, look at you, Syria, whatever tyranny that is trying to put their eggs on Putin's basket, look what would happen to you. You will go down just like Assad went down. And I hope this is a new world order that should start. Because look, if America will be able to gain influence in Syria right now,
Yes.
it's a whole thing. First and foremost, Turkey will be much more afraid to go together with Iran and with Russia
Of
if the
course.
US will have a presence right in the heart
Of
of
course.
the region. And then, if this is going to happen, Turkey might go really back to the cradle of NATO and the US.
Yes.
Then Iraq will be even stronger into their pursuit for American influence once they'll see that all the Shiite axis is destroyed and the militias are not helping even Assad, their biggest allies. They will not help them. They might turn back into America.
Yes.
Syria will be in the hands of America, continuing geographically down to Jordan, already in the hands of America, geographically down all the way to Saudi Arabia, the Gulf, and Egypt on the other side. Of course, Israel in the center of all this. This is gaining again the
Yes.
biggest influence and real politics of the US, and of course, through Turkey, all the way back to Europe. Today, France was literally dancing and showing their huge respect for the fact that Assad was taken down. So I think that this little point of Syria, which that's what they mean in the Bible, a Damascus Road conversion,
Yes.
is to convert, to divert, to redirect the whole axis of strength and power back into the hands of God against
Yes.
the enemy, because Syria was a huge outpost for the adversary, for the enemy, to spare the Middle East, to
Yes.
fight against the people of God. So this is a huge opportunity that should not be missed out.
Yes.
America need, with every dollar, with every troop. This is the time right now, even to send US troops, boots on the ground, together with Israelis, to come and take over Damascus. If this would
Yes.
have been happening now, and a new world order would have happened when Syria is in the hands of the West, Russia is so weak and preoccupied with what's happening in Ukraine. Iran already cannot do much, because even their own people have seen that whatever they were trying to build for
It's not working.
13 years with Qassam Soleimani big vision to strangle the West through Israel. Now Lebanon and Hezbollah is down, Syria is down, Iraq is in the hands of the Americans, and Saudi Arabia and all the other nations now are looking into what America will do. If
Yes.
America will take control, if it physically will take control into this PowerPoint called Damascus, the whole world will come back again like a ripe fruit into the hands of the West. But if they're going to miss it, because this administration now never missed a chance to miss a chance,
Yes.
that would be terrible.
Yes. And so really what it comes down to is that we need to pray, and obviously we need to pray for the people of Syria. There's a lot of innocent people there who don't want this kind of power in place. There's a lot of people. I actually found out, Dubes, I haven't even told you this, and one of the this is now switching over to Lebanon, but one of the political, um, really, he's a fighter who's been fighting the current regime in Lebanon. I'm related to him. He's one of
Mm,
my great uncles.
mm.
And he's part of
Wow.
my family, and he's part of a little Christian party that's been trying to fight the Islamic extremist government of Lebanon. And he's just been arrested, and he's actually related to my family. He's part of our group, which I found quite amazing, actually, that he's still there fighting, these regimes. But the point is that there are people fighting for freedom in every nation. And so we're praying for the Christians in Syria. We're praying for those that are not wanting this kind of violence. And we're trusting God that his will would be established in this region. Already look at what's happened with what the Israeli army's been able to do just in a day and a bit. You've got to imagine what it can be like if the US actually stepped up and did what it's supposed to do.
Today, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social on his media channel. Today, he posted and he said, what's happened in Syria is due to two facts: the Russian mess in Ukraine, and even more, the big victory of Israel over Hezbollah and the Middle East. What Israel has done to destroy the aspirations and the hopes of the adversary and the
Yes.
Iranian regime is unprecedented. And this what weakened their strengths, their access. And of course, you see there are still Russian troops in Hamaime. There is a Russian Air Force base, and they
Yeah.
haven't even tried. They literally right now, literally as we speak right now, Russian officers came into Israel to almost beg and negotiate for Israel to rescue them from their strategic bases.
So,
So Israel will take over this strategic bases so they can
yeah.
fade out and run away for their lives. They're also afraid very much from these organizations because they were the ones to massacre over 300,000 innocent civilians that wanted freedom in Syria. And that's who caused all these organizations to become more militant and to dream about taking down Syria, Assad, Iran, and Russia.
Yeah.
Russian troops and Russian engineers and Russian military people are a target right now, a huge target for these rebels. They are not afraid from big Russia because Russia cannot do anything. If they're going to divert troops from there to Syria, this is a big chance for Ukraine to go into Russia and take it down. They cannot do anything. They literally now, from being in a position of huge power that
Yeah.
Israel needed to coordinate with them, every movement that we did in Syria, now they are begging Israel to take over so they can fade out and run away for their lives.
Yes, and that's what we need. We need something new. We need something fresh. We really are trusting God that all the promises that we've seen are going to come to fruition. So thank you for joining us live. Donna is going to be going Code Breakers live here in about an hour and a bit, but Doobie and I just wanted to jump on, give you guys an update about what's happening in Syria, and he'll be talking about that more next week on Israel Update once we've seen what's unfolded this week. But we say God bless you. We love you guys. Happy Sunday. And remember to pray, as always, for the peace of Jerusalem. God bless you.
God bless you.
Hello, friends. I'm Clement Petrushka, and I am honored to invite you to something truly extraordinary, the Clement Prophecy Vault. Now you can gain unprecedented access to my father's entire digitized video archive. Every prophetic moment, every powerful teaching, every anointed worship session is now available to you in the Prophecy Vault. We've also enhanced the prophecy database, meticulously updating it with new video content and profound insights. Plus, I'm excited to share that my dad's special School of the Prophets teachings are included, offering you deep, transformative lessons on hearing God's voice and understanding his revelations. As part of your membership, you'll also gain access to my prophecy blog, where I break down and analyze my father's prophecies connecting them to current events. This blog will provide you with exclusive insights and a deeper understanding of how God's Word is unfolding right now. And we're offering something truly special: exclusive analysis sessions available only to members of the Prophecy Vault. These sessions will go beyond the surface, providing in-depth exploration of specific prophecies and their implications for today and the future. Your partnership is crucial. Not only will you gain access to these incredible resources, but you'll also help us continue the vital work of preserving, digitizing, and adding new Kim Clement material to the archives. So, I'm inviting you to step into the Kim Clement Prophecy Vault. Let's embark on this journey of revelation together, and I can't wait to see you inside.